We are days, literally days away from picking a new president, and Jesus be offense. As a millennial and as someone who understands the importance of voting, I wanted to extend this final call to action. So I did a little digging because I'm a nerd at heart. According to the US Census, approximately 227 million Americans are age 18 and older. Of that, 49 million are between the age of 18 to 29. You right there, you're a millennial. Believe it or not, if you were born in the early 80s until the early 2000s, you are considered a millennial. In the 2012 election, President Obama received 66 million votes. Compare that to Mitt Romney, who received 61 million votes. That's a difference of 5 million votes. And that's approximately the population size of Minnesota. The problem with this is that in the 2012 election, 80 million eligible voters did not vote. 80 million. That's the population size approximately of Germany. So you mean to tell me you went through the registration process, you got your voter registration card, but on the day that was most important, you didn't show up? Get your life. I found the top 7 reasons people opt out of voting. 1, they don't think that their vote counts. In America, we use the Electoral College to determine who wins presidency versus using the popular vote. And while that can be problematic, it's also problematic if you don't vote. Now, you don't have to like the presidential candidates, but on election day, those are not the only people you are voting for. You are also voting for local politicians. These are the individuals that actually have the most impact on you and your community. The second reason people say they don't want to vote is because they're too busy. Oh, so you don't have time to go pick someone who's going to be your president. Okay. 3, registration requirements. If you get on top of this sooner rather than later, you can bypass all the stress that comes with registering to vote. 4, some Americans are just simply apathetic. They are not concerned. They are not interested in the presidential candidates, in the presidency. They just don't give a shit. 5, the lines are too long. Now this is one that baffles me because in this country, we will stand in line to get an iPhone. Number 6, they don't like the candidates. Well, had you stood in line during the primaries, the person you liked may have had an opportunity to be one of the presidential candidates. And number 7, they can't get to the polls. And I understand how some people may not have transportation to get to and from the polling places, and some people live in very rural areas that do not have public transportation. But there are community centers, there are churches, there are schools, colleges and universities, and even neighborhoods that are putting together carpools and shuttling systems in order to get the citizens in their communities to the polling place. So with all this being said, I dare you to get your butt up on November 8th and go vote. Because if you don't, then you need to keep your bitching, your moaning, and your complaining to yourself.